Hey, hello everyone. I am Jay Ganesan and welcome to SphereSkill YouTube channel. So today we are going to see the part 3 portion of Office 365 setup. So we have already completed the part 1 and part 2, wherein we have covered how to set up the Office 365 basic from the scratch, and we have configured the domain, and we have purchased the Office 365 basic trial pack from Microsoft, and then we have created our domain, and we have pointed the text record in order to validate the domain into Microsoft. And once that has been validated, we have created the NS record, that is your name server record, to provide the Microsoft the control of your domain and configure the required DNS settings. So once after that, so we have created the users, and from the users we have sent and received emails to a Gmail ID, and we have configured the Outlook. So this is what we have seen so far, and we will be seeing what the admin panel has, what are the applications it will be having, and how to set up the domain records, and what are the records which is been inclusive of that, and how do you may enable the two-factor authentication, how to do password recovery of your setting, and how to set up the calendar, and how to set up the people or the contact. So these are the things which we will be going through with today's session. Okay, so once we complete this, so we will be able to completely configure the Office 365 basic, and we can send and receive emails from Office 365. Yes, so we have already configured the Outlook also. So with that Outlook, we can able to send and receive either from the Outlook or from the Outlook webmail. So for Outlook webmail, we will be using office.outlook.com, through which we can able to sign in, and we can pursue with our email process, right? So today we will see how we are setting up the multi-factor authentication as well. Yeah, thank you guys. Stay tuned. If you guys have not gone through the part 1 and part 2 video, so I will provide you the card in the top, so you can pick up that and you can go through the part 1 and part 2 and continue with the part 3. So that will be for your better understanding, and we will continue with our session now. Okay, thank you. So we will go inside the domain which is under the settings. So here we have a domain name which we have configured. So sphereskill.info. So if we go to the DNS record, it will be providing all the DNS details what is being required for this domain. Okay, so we have a exchange MX record, that is your exchange record. So that is already set to SphereSkill info mail protection outlook.com. And we have a text, that is your SPF record. So SPF is one of the important record. It is a framework actually. So how it works and what is the importance, we will be seeing in our next session. And we have a CNAME, that is clonical name, which will be used for auto discovery of your Outlook actually. So now we have logged in into Outlook by just providing your email ID. So by the time the CNAME will come into the picture and identify what is your domain and where is your exchange hosted and what is the configuration which is required. So otherwise, if it is not been there, you might need to manually key in what is your incoming server, what is your outgoing server, what is the port number which needs to be configured. Yes, we have not done those exercise. And Skype for Business, that is your portion of your Teams. In order to use the Teams, we need to configure Skype for Business. And basic mobile security, it is like a MDM points. It is mobile device management, for which what is the registration CNAME which has to be used. Name server record, so that we have pointed it to Microsoft. So this is your domain setup is considered. So we have configured the domain by using Microsoft platform, where we have migrated our name server from Big Rocks to Microsoft. See, the other way around is creating each and every record of this into your Big Rocks or the hosting service provider, and from there we can able to come to Microsoft and verify if those records are being available or not. Yeah. So this setup is complete. This is validated, and we can able to come here and check the health anytime to see how is the health of this system or health of this domain. Yeah. So when you check, you can see the status here. So all status are being okay. So this is very much important for in order to send an email outside of your domain name. So when I say outside of your domain name, it can be of any service provider like Gmail or Yahoo Mail or any other mails. We can able to send and receive mail. So this setup is completely set up now. We are going to see how to create an user. So to create an user, we have a users menu. Under that, we have active user, and this is our the admin user ID which Microsoft has created, and we have our mail ID which has been created. We are going to create one more mail ID. So I'm going to create it as a info. So we can set automatically create a password. Otherwise, we can able to set a password what we can continue to use it. So we can also provide requires this user to change this password when they first sign in. If you feel like it is not required, then we can remove this option. So we can set up this password now. So I have manually provided the password, and we can able to put one license assigned to this. This is Microsoft 365 Business Basic license. Under trial we have 25 user license. We have already created two number of license. This is the third license which we are creating. Under this we will be getting this many number of applications. So Teams by default which will be enabled, and we will be having Exchange Online, that is your basic business 365, and we have a graph connector, and we have multiple more features into this. We have even mobile device management. We can set up a policy for managing mobiles, how the Outlook has to behave in your mobile. We can able to set it up. Okay, so these are all your features of this particular Office 365, where this user can be assigned and the user license can be carried out. So if you feel like this license is not required, you can able to remove the license also. Perhaps this is a added bundle to this, so always you can enable this license and provide. In case if you want to provide a admin user role, so that will be available in the next setup. So here if you want to provide any admin access, you can provide. I am not providing admin access for this username, so I am just finishing this setup. So this is created now. So we have contacts where all the contacts will be added automatically. So this is this one which we have created. So we have a multi-factor authentication. So this is what we are going to see now. So what is multi-factor authentication? After adding the password, it will be asking second OTP based password. So how to set up that? That is what we are going to see. We are in Microsoft Entra Admin Center, and this is a privileged center panel here. Only user who is having access will be able to enter into this particular place. So we for a earlier user Jay Ganesan, I have provided the admin access, right. So with that user we can able to enter into this setup. So for whom we are going to set up SphereSkill, that is the place we are going to come and then enable the multi-factor authentication. So this is enabling, this got enabled. So not only enable use MFA settings, we can able to do a enforcement of this particular MFA. So when user is logging in, it will mandate user to register with MFA and then allow them to log in into the setup. So here we have been making it a required selected user profile, selected user to provide contact method again, and restore multiple authentication on all remember device, and delete all existing app password generated by the selected user. So we are going to see what is app password, what is the importance of that in our next session. But to the context, we will be just enabling the MFA and making it enabled. So we are asking user to provide the contact method again. It has been done. So we can see here this is been enabled with the status, and for the others it is disabled. So we can disable MFA here, or we can enforce MFA. Enforcing is like without making the two-factor authentication, system will not allow you to log in anywhere. So we are making it enforced. Multiple authentication was enforced successfully. So we will see how this works here now. So we will log in with the new email ID what is being created, and we will set up a MFA for this. Okay. So to set up an MFA, what we require a Microsoft Authenticator in our Outlook, either Microsoft Authenticator or any other authenticator. So I will suggest here Microsoft because that belongs to their product. It will be comfortable for setting up this. Okay. So we have to put our password. See, you see here what it has been put across. Let's keep your account secure, and we have to use a authenticator app in order to set up this. So that has to be added to your mobile. I have already completed adding that Microsoft Authenticator app in my mobile. So I'm not going to show you how that works in mobile, but we can able to add this account and see how to fix it up. So here we have an option to download it either from Google Play Store or Apple Play Store. So I have that app already. To set up your account in app, we have to press yes, and it will prompt one number that has to be entered into this, right? So we have to open that authenticator and scan this QR code. So let me do that. Allow me a minute. So I'm scanning this QR code now. So once this has been scanned in the mobile, so inside the Microsoft Authenticator, it will register what is the secret key for that. This key will be like a RSA key and a 6-digit number which will be changing each and every minute. So when we click next, Microsoft will try to identify the registered mobile and will ask them to enter the number what is been prompted from the screen. So you have to enter 13 by the screen and then press your authentication method, and we can able to enable this. See now it is been asked for placing your app password. So what is this app password? Why it is required? I will tell you. So I'm placing it as a Outlook. So it requires a minimum of 8 characters. So it has provided a password which can be used into the other application where it cannot be enabled with multi-factor authentication. So that is why app password has been there in the place. So we have set up that now, and we can able to change it any point in time. This is not your main password for this account to log in. Perhaps this is a password where it can be used by other application to sign in into your email ID where two-factor authentication is not possible. So this is your Copilot. We have a Copilot license by default coming along with this, where we have a access. What is the access? We will see. We have our SphereSkill which came inside, and we have all the applications which is been allowed by the time of registration. So we have seen what are the applications which is been allowed. So we are going to see only Outlook by this point in time. The other applications we will cover up in the next upcoming sessions. So we have set up the new email. We have enabled two-factor authentication, set up the two-factor authentication, sent email outside of the domain and verified the domain, and so we have enabled the second email ID and enabled multi-factor authentication. We have seen how to configure the app password. What is the app password? We have seen what is the domain setup and what are the primary domain records which is been involved in the setting up of this Microsoft Office 365. From the scratch, we have built across a trial setup and built the environment for Office 365, successfully registered and sent email to the external domain, verified the email has been received, and how the email has been returned back. So in the next session, we will see how to improve the email deliverabilities and how the factor which is been considered to improve email deliverabilities, what are the other records which has been involved in that, how to sign each and every email which has been sent across. So that is we will be seeing in the upcoming session. So for the time being, so we will check how the teams which will be connecting into this system. So we have a teams here. We are going to see with the web-based teams. So at the end, the next session, I will show you how we can able to use a desktop team-based application and set up user profile into this. So Teams is an chatting platform where you can able to send and receive messages and also documents with your colleagues, and external to the office domain network, we can connect with the other business delegates by using their business email ID, and which will be again configured by the Teams policy. So what are those policies? So how to make Teams connected with the other network? So we will check in our upcoming sessions. So by default, it will take the session from the browser what it has been available in this. So we can log in into the session and we can able to sign in into Teams and start sending messages. So in this you can able to see who are the other users are online and offline, and you can put across a message when the user comes in online, the message will be delivered to them. Even you can send an attachment through this, and attachment also will be available for the user. So your team setup is complete here. We have a chat, we have channel and meetings and calls. We can set up a meetings and we can set up calls also directly. So the QR code I'm not processing it because I have a Teams mobile app in my mobile. If not, we can download the Teams. So how the app has to be handled. So when somebody marked your name at, so you will get a message. So you have a calendar here, both in your Outlook and also in your Teams. You will have a calendar and contact where you can able to set up what is the meeting which it has to be. You can try, you can add a meeting into this, and you can set up a meeting and send the invites to any other person, right? We can set up a meeting invite. The similar way, we have a calendar here in our webmail and also in our Outlook mail. So this all calendars will be synced together. So any setup, any changes to this calendar, you will be getting it connected with all other app. Okay, and we have a contact. So contacts, how to see the contacts, I will show you. So contacts you have as a people here. You can click on the people. So you can turn on start using the new contact features if it is required. So you can add the contacts by default. Any user who is being created inside your organization will be automatically added to your contact. So what is the advantage of the other contacts being added here is you will be able to send and receive email, and their contacts can be stored within the domain within the email, and which can be synchronized between multiple platforms. Okay, so that is the features of adding the contact. Okay, so let us review the available mailbox options. Like we have configured the Outlook, and the client was been set up for sending and receiving emails. We have seen the calendar, how the appointments can be configured, and based on the appointments we can able to send meeting links and connect with the other team members for the meeting. So how to do setup and meeting links we will see in our upcoming sessions. And people's is your contact, where the contacts can be created, which will be used for sending and receiving emails in your email box. So for the best performance and the best practice, if you see, we can set up a MFA, that is multi-factor authentication. We have already set up that, and how to enable MFA we have seen, and we have connected our Outlook Office mobile app. We have not connected, so if you have a request to mobile app, you can download Outlook Office in your mobile from your Google Play Store or iOS store, where you can able to search for Outlook, configure your email ID, just put your email ID and password, it will be configured. If it is enabled with multi-factor authentication, it will ask to enter the one-time pin which is in your authenticator app. Otherwise, it will also provide a 6-digit RSA token which can be entered into the Microsoft Authentication app. Configure Outlook desktop application. We have seen that, and we have sent and receive email set up password recovery option. So I will show you how we can able to set up a password recovery. So password recovery is something very important where you can add a additional email ID, and then we can able to add a mobile number, and once if any password is forget, we can able to recover the password through which. But since it is an office account, so you will be having an administrator who will have the admin rights, who can able to set up the password recovery option. And keep DNS records updated is one of the important thing which we have to do. And since we have put across Microsoft as your name server, so that is will be taken care by Microsoft itself. So as a conclusion, you have successfully set up your Microsoft Office 365 business email. This setup gives you a business a professional identity with a secure and reliable email services. So you can start sending and receiving emails from this Microsoft email Office 365 basic plan. So to set up the recovery option, we have to go inside the contact. So we are in the web panel, either from the Outlook or anywhere. We can able to click on the icon of our name, and we have option to view account here. So in the view account, we will have a security parameter. So with that security, we can always set up our mobile number and other details which is required for the recovery setup. So we have our security info. We can change the password here, and if any device is been connected, how to activate the device or disable the device, settings and privacy. So these are the basic setups which will be available here. If you go inside the security info, we will have all the recovery options which is required to be set up. So it will once again validate it. We have to set up this one time authentication because we are entering into a security sensitive area which will be impacting to the your the email ID. So this as an individual, when you have set up the multi-factor authentication, this is required to re-verify it again. Okay, so now what we have to do, we have to enable 75 and then authenticate in your mobile device authenticator. So I have authenticated this. So once we enable into the security info, we can add the other security information which is required for the setup. So we have done a one-time password. That was this. Once this has been created, we cannot check what is the password, what is been set across into this. So we have a security settings and privacy. The account recovery, we will use the security info where we will be using the authenticator app for recovering the your account in case you lost your password. We can able to add authenticator additional application if it is required, or we can create a new app specific password here. Use your application authenticator. Set up using a different authenticator app. You can able to use this where you can use your Google authenticator also or any other authenticator. By default, if you are going with the next, it will be using the Microsoft Authenticator only. This setup we have already done that. In case you want to recover your password, you can use this Microsoft Authenticator for verifying it and then change the password. That also depends on your Outlook policies, your global policies, how it is been defined for your organization, which we will see in our upcoming session. Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you everyone for watching. So we have completed today's session, and also the entire Office 365 basic setup right from the scratch till we configure the admin setup, domain admin setup, and configure the email ID and send and receive the emails. Okay. So further we will see how to improve the email deliverabilities in our upcoming session. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope it is very informative. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and support our learning mission. Do visit SphereSkill.tech for tutorials and other training content. Okay, so you can reach out to me in my Facebook or in my WhatsApp, or you have any clarifications related to email or deliverabilities. Please leave me a message or leave me a comment. I will revert to you as soon as possible. Yeah. Thank you everyone. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video.